Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joe Hindy, the Android Authority app guy, and happy Friday, everybody. This week we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff out of Google, as well as some potential issues for root apps down the road, along with a bunch of app news. Without further ado, let's get started. In our first bit of news this week, Google, along with a lot of other places, could be getting fined soon for their freemium apps. This time around is the Antitrust and Competition Authority that comes out of Italy. According to them, Google Play having apps that show as free but actually cost money is apparently confusing customers so much that Google needs to be fined for it. If successful, Google could be facing 5 million euros in fines. It's not just Google Play either. The Apple App Store, Amazon App Store, and others are all under fire for the freemium app model. It presents a unique catch-22 in the application world because freemium is not the most preferable way to do things, but on the other hand, ad blocking and piracy have made other forms of revenue more difficult than ever to take advantage of. It's definitely had an impact because 147 of the top 150 grossing applications currently use in-app purchases, so they are obviously working well for developers. Another big piece of Google news this week came when they acquired the application WordLens. WordLens allows you to translate words through your camera in real time. Okay, so here's how WordLens works. You point your camera at words you do not understand, and the application will automatically translate them into words that you understand. This is wildly useful for travelers especially, but it's still a handy app to have along if you need it. Now, it belongs to Google. When Google up and buys a company, it's usually left to the imagination what they'll be using it for. After all, no one is quite sure as of yet what they plan on doing with Timely. However, WordLens is fairly obvious. Eventually, this technology will be integrated into Google Translate, and frankly, that's going to make Google Translate way more epic than it already is. For now though, you can still get WordLens as it is now if you want it in the Google Play Store. Last week we didn't have all that many Google Apps updates to talk about, and that is not true this week. Okay, so Google Chrome, Google Maps, Gmail, and Google Plus all got updates this week, and we'll talk briefly about each one of them. Gmail got a Save to Google Drive option embedded in the email options, along with some extra stuff in the overflow menu. Google Maps now has elevation profiles for cycling routes. Google Chrome now has support for multi-window devices. You can undo closed tabs now, and there are some new HTML5 features. Lastly, and our winner of the Google app that got the most update love this week is Google Plus. The new app has a serious UI redesign, and it's likely the first of many redesigns we'll see in Google Apps. Also included are a new Stories feature, Auto Awesome Movies, better support for large photo libraries, Auto Awesome GIFs, and finally, it shows your profile views. It really was a gigantic update. Our next bit of news is about, you guessed it, Google, and it's the first time I've gotten to talk about Android Wear on camera. So, Google is going to be showing off their new platform at this year's Google I/O, and as per the norm, they want some other stuff to show off with it. A fun little thing that Google is doing is asking app developers to submit their applications to Google for use at Google I/O when they demo Android Wear. If they do, and Google likes the apps, they'll get practically free advertising at Google I/O, as well as prime placement in the Google Play Store. So, if you start seeing these apps pop up, you know where they came from. So a while back, XDA developer Chainfire stated that rooted apps are going to have a little bit of a problem in the next version of Android. This last week, he said it's going to be just a little bit harder than he originally envisioned. Okay, so here's the deal. Originally, it was known that the next version of Android would restrict how apps interacted with the data partition and thus would require root apps to work around it. However, this week we also learned that a number of other under-the-hood changes could further complicate the lives of those who use and develop root apps. Some may think it's a conspiracy theory to kill off root access, but when you look at what's actually going on, it's simply Google making Android more secure, and that means things like root access will require more work to get through the security. Chainfire has been able to successfully update his Super SU app and has stated that for most root apps, workarounds should be relatively simple. So you can exhale root users, everything is going to be okay. So who wants to see some trending applications? As usual, if you want to check any of these applications out, you can find the links in the written companion, which is in the video description below. First up this week is Summoner Wars. It was a popular game on iOS, and it's finally made its way to Android, where it has received a surprising amount of press. It is a digital card game with a board game mechanic baked in. You collect cards and then play a sort of modified chess game with them against either artificial intelligence or real-life opponents. There is quite a bit of gameplay, cross-platform support, in-app purchases, and it's accumulated over 5,000 installs so far. The app is a little buggy though, so do beware. QuickClick is a very simple application that allows you to set either a volume button or a sequence of volume buttons to perform certain actions. For instance, you can set it to turn on your camera after you click the volume up once and the volume down once in quick succession, and then when you do that later, the camera will open. It's a fairly nifty application for those who want more out of their hardware buttons, and it's free, so check it out. If you've been a longtime fan of the Google Play Weekly Show, you've no doubt heard about AllCast. It's developed by Kushik Duda and it streams local content to Chromecasts. Now he's released the AllCast Receiver. Once you install this nifty and free application, you will be able to use AllCast to play media to that device. So let's say you want to play something from your phone to your tablet, install AllCast Receiver on the tablet, AllCast on the phone, and you can stream it. Easy peasy. Next up is a nifty little camera application called Whistle Camera. The premise is simple. You whistle and it takes a picture. That's essentially all that it does. We know there are times when your hands are preoccupied or covered in things like gloves that make it difficult to capture images, and with this application you can whistle to get it done. In the demo video it suggests taking photos while driving, which I personally think is a terrible idea, but the app is free and for the love of God, don't use it while driving. Last up this week is a fun application called Beautiful Icon Styler. What this app does is let you change icons on your stock launcher. Now for those of you who don't know, usually you need a third-party launcher like Nova, Apex, or Action Launcher in order to use custom icon packs. What this app does is let you use those icon packs on your stock launcher and you don't need anything special like root access. You can try it for free to see if it works for you, but so far people seem to be really enjoying it. Now, don't forget folks, you don't have to wait for my show every week to get the latest and greatest in Android app news. If you head to AndroidAuthority.com and click on the apps button in the header, you can see our latest news and reviews as well as our indie apps of the day and our weekly developer interviews whenever you want to. Once again, I'm Joe Hindi, the Android Authority app guy. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you want to check out Android Authority myself or the rest of the video team, you can find our social media links in the video description below. If you're hanging out for a minute, we have a couple of awesome videos for you to watch right over there, including the latest Android Authority Weekly out of Jace Broda, as well as a video that helps you determine if you should buy an HTC One M8. Finally, don't forget to check out the written companion in the video description below for all of the download links. As always, thanks for watching everybody, and have a wonderful day.